Vitaly's situation remains one of the most unpredictable and chaotic developments right now. At times, it seems like things are looking up for him. Then suddenly, it feels like he's on the brink of being deported. The story keeps twisting, adding even more confusion to an already turbulent news cycle. The latest reports suggest that after intense public scrutiny and criticism directed at the Philippines, especially around their handling of Vitaly's case, regardless of whether he's Russian or American, the authorities are now moving forward with plans to deport him.
Jurisdiction.
He broke our laws.
Okay.
He broke our laws. He broke Philippine laws here in our country. So he has to stand trial here.
These were the words from Philippine officials, firmly stating that Vitaly will be held accountable on their soil and will not be released. But it's important to keep in mind, the legal system in the Philippines operates very differently from the one in the US. And unfortunately, corruption is a much bigger factor in how justice plays out there. Like in many Asian countries, in the Philippines, money can often make problems disappear. When you look at what Vitaly is accused of, it's relatively minor, especially when compared to what some local offenders get away with, often without facing any real consequences. The real issue for Vitaly wasn't what he did, it was who he was. His public profile made him a target. Once the media, YouTubers, and online platforms picked up the story, it exploded. That widespread attention turned his case into a national spectacle, and the Philippine government saw it as a golden opportunity to grab some global headlines. Even President Bongbong Marcos himself responded to the situation. And when it reaches the desk of the country's top leader, you know it's serious. That's exactly what happened with Vitaly. After the president's reaction, law enforcement doubled down. Vitaly was brought into a press conference where his behavior raised more eyebrows. He still seemed to believe that the Philippines, like other countries he'd visited, wouldn't be able to touch him. But this time, that overconfidence may have cost him. Although, ironically, Vitaly doesn't even have much hair on his head to bend in the first place. Still, Vitaly seemed convinced that because he holds a US green card and Russian citizenship, ties to two global powerhouses, the Philippines wouldn't be able to keep him for long.
I don't know if he still has citizenship. I guess they wouldn't have tried to deport him there if he didn't. And then I guess he has a green card in America, which is wild that this guy has a green card and all these poor undocumented people get.
You can understand where his confidence came from. Vitaly has a track record of getting arrested in different countries and somehow managing to get deported quickly, like clockwork.
Have you been in jail in other places?
Yeah.
How many other places have you been in jail at?
Brazil, Russia, America. I guess that's it. Brazil,
which was the worst?
Egypt. Oh, Egypt. That was the worst 5 days of my life in jail.
Did you catch that? This guy has been to jail multiple times, yet it's clear he never really learned his lesson. Sure, he got arrested, but each time he was deported without facing any serious consequences. And what did he do after all that? He jumped on podcasts, gave interviews, and suddenly every media outlet and YouTuber was making videos about him. His name was trending again. What's crazy is that instead of being seen as a troublemaker or public nuisance, Vitaly was portrayed as this fearless, no-limits content creator, someone who'd do anything for entertainment and didn't care about rules or consequences. And the kicker? Those stories, straight from Vitaly himself, turned into viral gold. He admitted that each jail experience added fuel to his content machine, racking up millions of views.
And I came out of jail, every video was hitting 1 million views. Whoa. Out of every negative situation, I get positive. So if I go to jail tonight, or today, or for how many days, because I'm ready, because my ass is tight for a while now, I'm gonna fire it out.
Vitaly openly says he's ready for jail, not because he enjoys it, but because he knows it brings him views. In his world, getting locked up isn't a setback, it's content. And the wildest part? Nobody else is out here doing this kind of thing. He's made it his niche. Every time Vitaly walks out of jail, he goes straight back to YouTube with a dramatic new upload titled something like, "This is how I got arrested in the Philippines." And thanks to people like us, along with all the news outlets and content creators who've already blown the story up, those videos instantly explode, pulling in millions of views. Just off YouTube ad revenue alone, he could be raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars. And because brands are always paying attention to what's trending, they see Vitaly's viral momentum and know that sponsoring his content means guaranteed exposure. So of course, they're ready to throw serious money his way. This was the strategy all along. This was the whole reason behind Vitaly's trip to the Philippines. But this time, the plan backfired badly. Vitaly never imagined it would play out like this. The same guy who managed to escape legal consequences in Egypt, Brazil, even the US, never thought a country like the Philippines would be the one to actually hold him for this long. And now things are really heating up, because one of the top figures in the Philippine administration, Janvic Romulo, has openly taken a stance against Vitaly. Romulo made it clear from the start they had no intention of letting Vitaly off easy. In his words, Vitaly didn't just break the law, he embarrassed the nation. That's why there would be no mercy, and certainly no smooth, quiet deportation. But Romulo wasn't the only roadblock in Vitaly's way. Enter Secretary Joel Viado, another high-ranking official who also publicly stated that Vitaly had violated Philippine law. Now that Viado has stepped in alongside Romulo, any hope Vitaly had of walking away from this easily seems completely out of reach.
Foreign nationals who abuse our hospitality and violate our laws must face the consequences. The Bureau is resolute. We will not allow our deportation process to be undermined by publicity tactics.
That was a direct shot at Vitaly, and the message was loud and clear. No amount of fame, noise, or social media buzz would sway the Philippine authorities. But of course, Vitaly and his camp, primarily his family, didn't just sit back and accept it. Instead, they turned to the one language that speaks loudly almost anywhere in the world: money. Behind the scenes, Vitaly allegedly tried to use his wealth to negotiate his way out. Reports even began circulating that he was preparing to sell his $15 million home for just $9 million, all to generate enough cash to bribe Philippine officials and secure his release. And I just want to say, maybe the Philippine government saw this as an opportunity. Because if Vitaly were allowed to walk free after slipping them some bribe money, then what would the Philippines really gain? So maybe that's the real reason. The authorities could take millions from Vitaly and his family, an amount that could practically multiply their yearly income if split among themselves. And whether that's just a rumor or not, the truth is, Vitaly has already lost a significant amount of money trying to get out of this situation. Because his case went viral online, the media and YouTubers haven't stopped releasing updates, keeping his name in the spotlight. That's why, even after spending so much money, Vitaly still hasn't been able to get out of prison. In recent photos, we've all seen how much he's changed. His muscles are gone, and his body looks completely different. Vitaly looks unrecognizable now.
How tiny he is.
He's definitely lost some bulk.
He's a petite little guy now. And the face especially, he looks
different.
Vitaly was actually sent to one of the Philippines' main prisons, where he was placed among dangerous local inmates. And guess what? Once those prisoners found out what Vitaly had done to their fellow Filipinos, what do you think they would have done to him?
He's in jail in prison right now, and people are saying once the prisoners find out what he did and how he disrespected the country, they might try to kill him.
So after being sent to a real prison, almost immediately, whether it was because of money from Vitaly's mother or something done through official channels, he was moved to the Bureau of Immigration Center, which is far safer and much less crowded than the actual prison. And just a few days ago, a report came out that the Philippines is preparing to deport Vitaly, but only after he finds a country willing to accept him, because both Russia and the US have denied taking him back.
Russia has officially disowned Vitaly. That's right. They want nothing to do with his shenanigans. He is locked up and facing 2 to 3 years even before he hits his trial, and then several years in jail. No country is going to come out there and save
Vitaly and his mother have reportedly been searching for low-cost countries where they can buy citizenship. Because with mounting legal expenses and no stable income, Vitaly is almost completely out of money. And just when things were starting to look up for Vitaly, when he was thinking, finally, I'm getting out, a huge blow hit him and his mother. Reports came out that Vitaly's mom had been scammed out of a large amount of money in crypto while trying to cover alleged legal fees. After getting scammed, she completely broke down in tears and even posted a video on her social media.
I need help. What can I do?
So you can see, Vitaly's release was just inches away, but he still couldn't escape the Philippines.
Apparently his mom got scammed for trying to pay for his legal fees. So according to his mom, she sent crypto to someone claiming to be his lawyer, because nothing says legitimate legal transaction like sending crypto to a random wallet address.
Now you might be thinking, well, Good, at least he's finally facing the consequences. But the reality? That's not good news. It's actually the worst case scenario. Why? Because now that Vitaly is running out of money, and his mom just got hit with a huge scam, there's going to be a serious gap between Vitaly and his legal team. And in a system where corruption is rampant, staying out of real trouble requires a lot of money. If you can't afford to keep paying, the situation turns dangerous. So now, there's a strong chance Vitaly will be sent back to real prison. And like I said before, if his mother can't afford the high legal fees, and the inmates find out who Vitaly is and what he's done, you can imagine the outcome. Vitaly could be gone without a trace. That's where things stand. He's running out of money. Covering legal expenses is becoming nearly impossible. And when the money finally stops flowing, the danger becomes real. So what do you think? Can the Philippines actually hold him for the long haul? Or will Vitaly once again slip through the cracks, like he has in every other country, without facing real consequences?